Hi guys, and welcome back to Dice Down Gaming. This week, myself and Dan are going to have a look through the lock and load keynote, everything that was announced, all the cool stuff, all the new announcements, and say what we think. Most important question of every week: how are you doing, Dan?
I'm doing good. It's nice to get me back. Sorry for the delays and things. I know we've had a couple of videos where I've had to cancel due to like personal bits and life and stuff. No, looking forward to talking through lock and load, keeping that hype train going. Feeling positive. I've started Grave Diggers. Don't know if I've mentioned that last time we were. Also, I've got my minimum boxes of Grave Diggers. Enjoying that. Played a couple of games a couple of weeks ago, and playing a game against my good co-host on Wednesday at the bunker. That would be good. So yeah, look, yes, going all right now. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I had a War Machine heavy week, so it's been a good week. I played 4 games this week, so that was really cool. And in general, life is good. So no complaints from me. So we're here to talk about the amazing keynote from Lock and Load. I was really committed to trying to stay up to 3 a.m. to watch it, but failed at that.
So, frustratingly, my 11-month-old decided not to be awake at that time, so I did not get up my wake up call. Just an hour afterwards, and about 2 hours before, and every hour apart from the time when the keynote was going. So yeah, I was like you. I woke up in the morning, and was like, oh, I actually got to catch up on this.
Yeah, because I don't mind it in a way because you get to wake up and like there's like a million photos to go through and not too bad. I did manage to stay up last year for it. I think the Adepticon one, but I think that was 2 a.m. and I think
Yeah, it was,
I didn't sleep very well, so I was like, oh, I might as well just watch it.
yeah.
Right, so we'll kick off. Thanks to Mr. Gav Beckett who posted all these photos in the UK Discord, and we're going to click through them. First of all, there is Lock and Load merch, which looked really cool. There's a really nice Kyphos t-shirt, or a generic Cephalix t-shirt. It looks like Kyphos eating someone, so that's very cool. War Machine merch. Did you get to look at the War Machine merch, Dan?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to purchasing a couple of t-shirts.
Yeah, there's a
I'm
really nice Death Shack one and a really nice Cephalix t-shirt.
or the one with just War Machine on with the logo. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, that's nice.
I,
That's nice.
I'm looking forward to that. There's obviously I don't know if we're on, also sort of there's lots to go through that I can't wait
Yeah,
to start repping War Machine. We're hoping 2026 can be bigger and better, sort of locally as well, and obviously there's big events to try and get to. Yeah, no,
yeah.
look
I
forward to that.
mean, in the UK, actually, I posted that event sort of calendar a little bit in our sort of our local chat, and yeah, I mean, like already I mean, 6 or 7 really big events for the UK next year, so that's really promising.
Yeah.
Um, cool. So yeah, the War Machine merch looks very good. There's also the P3 paints. Have you used P3 paints? I'll be honest, I haven't.
Not since Mark II, and I think I only had a couple just then. I just haven't. If I'm honest, I haven't bought any paint in probably a year. I do need to start painting up my grave diggers, but I keep my GW paints in a toolbox that goes with me, and I've got paints in there that are older than Mark II. So yeah, some of them, Chestnut ink in particular from Games Workshop. I think I probably bought that in 2002 or three, and I've still
Yeah,
got that going. So yeah, but P3 paints, I know that they're really well represented, and they seem to go on really well. I just haven't bought. I like to buy paint in like sort of a stash, or I like to go for a big lot of it, so I can just use it across a faction and things. But yeah, I'll be interested in getting hold of some, particularly the coal black. I think it is. That's one
yeah.
I
I've
want
heard
to try.
really good things about their gold. I'm not sure if it's the radiant yellow on screen, but the gold looks really good.
Yeah.
Cool. So P3 paints. There is, but they're saying Wave 2 pledge is coming soon, and a Wave 1 restock. Core book in December. Are you going to grab the
Yeah,
core book?
I am because I'm sad and I really want it. Yeah, I'm going to order that. Get that.
Nice.
Get
That will
that.
be nice stuff, and it'll probably have a bunch of lore in, so that'll be really interesting to read.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in. I can't read lore off a phone. I'll be honest with you. So I'm looking forward to jumping back into the Iron Kingdoms with a physical book.
Yeah, I mean, it will be good because all I really know about the lore is that Orgoth have come and it's really bad.
Yeah.
Sums up how I think the Western Kingdoms are going. So that would be really good to read.
When we get later in the going through it, and also something's coming back, baby.
True. Yeah, Robbie lost his mind. Organized play kit's now available, so I think you can, if you're running an event, you can go on Longshanks. You go through a form and you put the Longshanks link into the form and you get the kit.
I think we're hoping to get some for some of the event in December potentially, aren't we?
I believe so. I've not gone through the form yet, so I should do that. But it's really cool. There's the physical command cards are in there. There's some really cool unique focus or fury or essence tokens. Some really cool artwork. It comes in a nice box.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Support for organised play, whether it's competitive or anything, it's just really good. It's good to have.
I think people, I know I love just like the little unique things, right? So if I can get 10 unique focus tokens, I love that. So I think that'll be a big win. And we're hoping to get them.
I have a load of my Steamroller certificates saved. They're somewhere in a bag. Back when we used to run them all those 10 years.
I don't still have my coins. Remember the coins you used to get?
Oh yeah, I got like a second place coin, and I did eventually get a first place coin. I originally was like, I want to get to the stage where I've got enough first place coins to use them as focus on a four camp caster, because there was no way I was getting to the stage.
No, I'd say we did all right in Guild Ball that we could use gold dice for our dice at least.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've handed out a lot of gold dice because I'm like, I don't like how these roll, and I'm not going to use them for anything else.
Yeah. But we did all right. We did all right. Press Ganger update. This one really exciting. I did try to go on their website and fill out the form and just got a 404 error, which wasn't great. But
it's coming. It's coming.
It is coming. Their target's Q1 2026, so that's promising. That's in line with like new Steamroller, new January update and that. So, will you be putting your name in the ring?
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, so I don't know if we haven't mentioned this on the channel, but Wayland Game Centre is opening up a new store. I've spoken to the potential new manager of it, or the organised play person, and they just sort of interested in someone running War Machine. So if I'm doing that for Wayland, and then I'll definitely be applying to be a press ganger. Because try and get this community off the ground and going and all the rest of it. Yourself, you go for it again because you were a great press ganger before.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. As you were a great press ganger. I probably will because I'm going to be running events in Harlow, so
makes sense.
I might as well. Keynote Old Umbre. This made me very happy when that screen come up, and then you've got the new Gorgia Gargantuan. Very sort of like you ever seen the film called The Ritual?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay, sort of like it's like a folklore horror thing. It looks like the big thing that comes out of that. Really, really cool. It's got loads of skulls around in its fur.
Yeah.
The big skull head. It looks like it's got 4 legs, which I've just sort of clocked.
Yeah.
I thought it was standing on 2.
Yeah, it's got a hell of a tail.
4
I think it's great. I think also a bit like I can imagine. On the eve of Welsh Masters next year, you're going to be telling me how it's the last thing you're painting ready for your list. A bit like your Sea King.
Yeah, I've still got lots to paint. But yeah, they look very cool. And Matt sort of gave us a little teaser that the boulder in its hand's got the weight of stone rule, which Megalith used to have, -2 def and speed. So really cool. I inevitably probably will buy one. I'm not buying a Lord of the Hunt.
You say that now, but if you've got to buy another box for putting that gargantuan in, then
Well, it won't go in a box. I think it will just live in a little cardboard tub.
No, put it in a box. Keep it safe.
We'll see. But I'll probably buy that one. Probably not Lord of the Hunt. So that rounds up the first round of photos. Very excited for the Gorgia. Next up is the Extreme Strix. Did you have a chance to look at the Extreme Strix?
Yeah, I actually really like it. I think that it's more horror-esque, which I appreciate. If it's made me think, I'm not going to, but if I was to get Old Umbre, I'd do them in a very concept style paint scheme, very similar to how I did my Grimkin back in the day. Almost sort of Tim Burton, Nightmare Before Christmas, sort of old sort of German horror cinema back in the 1920s, sort of blacks and whites and real extreme shadows and things like that. Yeah, no, I really like it. I think the model's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I should do some sort of concept army, so I can just fucking dry brush an army and put some red on it and say
Yeah,
it's done. Really.
yeah,
I'm gonna have some Sin City on Ombre. I can fucking prime them, spray them black, prime them white, do a dot of red, and be like, "We're painted it now."
yeah.
I really like it. I think it's interesting because the extreme versions up till now have been like prints that you can print yourself, whereas this is like a $65 model.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you have to buy it.
Okay.
You can't print it. And it looks a real nightmare to transport. I think the model looks obviously amazing.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, for me, I mean, I like the model. I'm not playing Old Umbre, but that would definitely make me take a second to think, do I need it? But if it's a Christmas present, if it's a birthday present, if that's something you can say to your significant other, any chance you get me this, then that sounds like a perfect deal.
Anyone watch you want to get me it? Not a problem.
Say it loud downstairs.
Yeah, Lucy, you tuned in? No, it looks very good. I probably won't buy it because I don't sort of begrudge paying for a model I already own just to look slightly different.
Yeah.
But I think it looks very cool. There's also the Old Umbre Vilcol, which is just sort of slightly different armor Vilcol.
I'm not a fan of that. I try, very positive everything else, but I'm not a big fan of the alternate Vilcor. I'm also, and controversially, I don't think Vilcor in that box should be in Old Umbre. But hey ho, we move on.
It's very interesting. I do think. So I've only used Vilcol and Razor once in person, a few times on War Table. But when you do use them, they do very much stand out, right? You got the big Warjack and Vilcol in like the power armor next to like your Primeval and your Feral. Looks a bit odd. I sort of like the model ish. I'm sort of like, it's not bad, it's not good. Doesn't blow me away.
Yeah.
I won't pay for it again. Southern Krill's Kifguard. This is the next pretty big one actually.
Yeah. I obviously watched the video yesterday morning, and I didn't know about all the spoilers. So when I first got to this, I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna the sniper and obviously Sergeant Bugger or whatever his name is. I used to love the pygmies back in Trolls, but the whole ambush mechanic that interests me. There was a line I think Matt says where he turns and said, that can be really like tricky and hard to use and apply it effectively. Like that for me is a big like, right, yeah, I fancied giving that a go. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But then something else came up, so we'll get to that later.
Well, so first of all, there was the trapdoor mechanic, which they said, which you can put down a trapdoor and then pop up stuff out of your trapdoor. Sounds very interesting. In terms of the aesthetic, probably a bit more of a serious aesthetic compared to Brian Bloods.
Yeah. They're definitely the type of trolls that I'm more interested in.
Really like the guerrilla sort of style vibe they've got. They've got some really cool pigs. That's the most important thing, really. They've got some cool pigs.
Yeah. Pig army coming back.
There's the new... both. Sorry, you go.
I said pig army is coming back in both ways. PYG and PIG.
Double pig.
So
really, really like the aesthetic. The clanger, the heavy war beast, looks very, very cool. Really like him. And then you've got the warcaster as well with his big old gun and like a frag grenade.
Ironically, while Vargas is my favourite warcaster in Gravediggers because he's got a massive machine gun, I'm not a big fan of that troll having a massive machine gun. But it's still a great model, but I don't know why that my opinion from Vargas and them, which got quite a similar silhouette,
I think it's racist, obviously.
A great against trolls. True. That's so true.
Fuck them, guys.
No, they're not wearing pirate hats, stupid Brian Bloods. But yeah.
Mate, they're the goats. There's an update to the War Machine license partner update. So there was the War Mag, which they've already been out for a while. You can buy your
Yeah.
You can buy your faction Pacific tray liner, which is very nice. Richard Rid, yo Rid, how you doing, man? Hope you're well. Um, and then we go on to the next batch of photos. This shows the broken egg packages.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've got some on my way. I've had a ninja pick some up
Did you buy
from.
them after
No,
complaining?
well, I found out that they have the rewritable ones that were significantly cheaper because they're the ones I want. Because if there's a January update coming, I don't want to spend a load of money on some tokens that might not end up being used. So I've got the Gravediggers rewritables. They're on the way. Hopefully.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just yeah. Actually, if I was going to buy them, I was going to buy the ones with the names. Otherwise, I might as well just use my rewritable ones anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But there's that guy on Etsy who I showed you the pack. Yeah. He's doing an old Umbre pack. So I might buy that.
Nice. Yeah.
They're like extremely clear little black tokens with words on them. So broken egg, nice, expensive. 60. I think it was like £75 for the old Umbre pack.
The set with obviously all the tokens. Right? They are really high quality. I think that they're great. I will look into that depending on January update, because if once we get off the spell rack's gone, it might be that actually there's more stability in what spells stick with casters and things. But yeah, no, they're lovely. They're lovely tokens.
Spoiler alert for the later.
Yeah.
No, they were nice. Rid, can you confirm to me, because you're very useful? Is it me and Dan's sound level the same? That would be very useful. And he says the sticks are superb. Yeah, they're the highest quality stuff you can get, right?
Yeah, definitely.
They're very good. Baron of Dice, the new. Just realised I got WhatsApp pinging off in the bottom right corner of my stream. Hopefully, no nudes. I wish. Baron of Dice.
Read, dude.
Yeah, read strong. Bridge said, can't wait for the spell racks to go. Bridge on it.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Baron of Dice do their Baron of Dice. Look very nice.
So, interestingly, I don't know if you've seen Rid's Cephalix dice. They are beautiful, but also they have a strange texture to them, which I can't work out what material they used to actually make them. But they're really different but nice.
I like I've got to close my WhatsApp, bro. It's WhatsApp's popping off. I don't know how I close WhatsApp. Can I? No.
Just to mid.
Well, I can't close it. If people can message me what they want. Yeah, maybe it's like human flesh. I don't know. They do feel weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, Baron dice, very nice dice. I've gone to Casino dice. They make me happy. Then there's the Deep Cut Studios. They're coming out with like official mats for War Machine. So they're like War Machine themed mats. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Having played on the Quick mat with Matt Hart and his beautiful terrain.
Thanks, Dan, for the I love you too.
Yeah. I think that they really had to the whole spectacle of the theme when you've got rain that matches the mat, just makes it really more thematic, and I love it.
I do think they look really cool. Oh, you know what I can do? I can mute WhatsApp. My WhatsApp's literally on the stream right now. Apologies to anyone who's watching this. It's really not the best content. I just need to mute my WhatsApp. Never show me notifications. Right, okay. Protected from the nudes that Rid was about to send now. The Crix one's on the screen. Yeah, really incredible. Crix mat. New partners. This one I actually thought was really cool. So the new partners are Goblin Hobbies. I'd not heard of these guys before.
No, neither did I, but I'm actually interested in what they're doing.
So it looks like they're stamps, I think.
Yeah, it's contract. It's what's it called? Transfers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like the old 40k stuff where you put like a Dark Angel symbol.
So I'm particularly interested in them for my Gravediggers. To add to that sort of military look. So yeah, no, I'm definitely interested in getting some of those.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, that's nice. There's some more terrain, STL wise. More 3D terrain's only ever a good thing.
Yep. Agreed.
Ridge says those Cephalix dice are sensory overload. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Then we have these guys called Galactic Armory. Now, I have heard of
Yeah,
Galactic Armory before.
I haven't. What can you tell me about them, Aaron?
They just make really fucking sick like cosplay stuff, right?
Okay.
So it's like I think it's like styrofoam, etc. But you can buy like
Right.
Corn Berserkers helmets and stuff.
Oh,
So they're going to be making stuff for War Machine.
yep.
So
That'll be.
if Luca
So that.
doesn't find me attractive enough, I can go buy like a Warcade or helmet. Yeah, lucky
No,
girl.
she is so lucky. But also, what's going to do? That's going to be really good if they start to look at going to things like Comic-Con or sort of bigger, sort of more sort of wider conventions, getting people dressed up as War Machine heroes or villains, sort of promote the game even further.
For
Yes.
sure, for sure. Next up, this is a big one you'll like because you're an old man. Forge Fire physical cards.
Yes. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this. I can't wait. I mean, obviously they're not here yet. Obviously, to be confirmed what dates they'll actually arrive. But yeah, I cannot wait for physical cards. Presumably, they're all going to be waiting after January update, and they're all so next year we're going to have to get some physical cards. Can put some sleeves and get them sorted. Yeah, cannot wait. I can say though that the app runs much better for anyone that uses the app. Just turn your iPad or whatever tablet on airplane mode after you've loaded the game. The app works so much better.
Your life will be changed.
Your life will be changed. Like I have changed my opinion on the app since doing that. But physical cards also. I'm an old man. I want them.
Rid said, I've realised I didn't get my YouTube set up before I started to stream, so I've got on my phone reading the chat from my phone because I'm a pro gamer. I've looked into these goblin hobby things. It's like nail polish that dries and stamped on. Very cool. So it's like a stamp rather than a transfer.
Interesting.
Very interesting. What kind of stamping old hombre? Not sure. Oh, Razor. There you go. Put on that guy. Damien said, just started or have I missed it? Damien, we've been going for about 20 minutes, but we've probably still got about like hour and 10 minutes to go. So buckle in, buddy.
Apparently we're going for an hour and a half, guys. We're doing it. Let's keep going.
We're fully sending. And Robbie Graham, love you, Robbie. Cards will be great for demo games. True.
Yeah, and will be great for being able to swap armies if you play an event where you can go swap your forces and things like that, and playing with your teammates, sort of mixed doubles and things. I think having cards you can just go have a look at that quickly rather than having to try and hand over your apps and things. Yeah, I can't wait.
True. I think yeah, good for sharing lists and stuff. So I've started using the share code in the app. Have you ever done that?
I think I did it once.
It's very good because you basically get their whole list on your screen.
Yeah,
well, I think that's useful, right?
Yeah. I just but that I have to do that on airplane mode, I'm guessing.
Good question. Probably not. Not.
And my tablet that I'm using is so old that because I'm an old man, obviously it needs airplane mode to run efficiently.
Yeah, fair. Damien is looking forward to the January update, as are we.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we're going to go. That's going to be the end thing, but not there, but near the end. But we're both very excited for the January update.
Yeah.
And it also says nice that we're going to go for an hour and a half. Thanks for joining us, Damien. Damien, where are you from? It'd be great to know where you're from. Mini crate. There was a shadow tongue, which is looks like really spooky.
Yeah.
Thought it looked sick. Love that.
I love the way they're going with mini crate. I know that back in Mark 3, some of the mini crate stuff got a bit comic-y, for want of a better phrase.
Goofy, right?
Yeah, goofy. Whereas now, actually, they're quality sculpts. I've got Hazaroth, which Reed got for me, so appreciate that. So I can't wait to get that painted. And yeah, I think they're doing really well, because I think what mini crates should always be is those cool alternative sculpts, not those quirky alternative sculpts.
Yeah, and then also the spinner, which is a Shadow Flame Shard solo, is getting a mini crate as well, which looks really cool.
Yeah.
They also made the comment about the War Machine app, that they're looking to sort of make quality of life improvements.
And I think they also said that they've actually changed the company that's sort of supporting it or developing it. I don't know, is it Utility or Unity or something? I can't remember the name of the app, the sort of the background running, but whether that will help with just general running of it, that would be good.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, Damien is from France. Bonjour, Damien. Comment ça va? They're taking it more or less well. France is really excited about the update, which is great.
Yeah.
I think it's only a good thing for War Machine coming up. Yeah, I think Unity is the name that I have who do the app. But yeah, if they can make it, not take, I mean, truly a first world problem. The app takes 10 seconds to load. But if it took less than 10 seconds, that would be nice. And quality of life improvements always welcome. Um, this is one that probably not for our generation. War Machine is now on TikTok. If you guys want to follow War Machine on TikTok, you can. Brid said new mini crate with actual usable models. Yes, very good. And then War Machine 3D. I think this is. Oh, I need to go to the next set of pictures. Let's go down to them. Oh, so this is a big one. There's a lot of meat to this announcement. It's pigs.
Yes.
Pigs, digital. So I think these will follow the same sort of structure as Dark Operations and Crucible Guards. That there will be, you can print the STLs. There will be some quality of life updates to the list, and you'll get some new models as well.
Yeah. I think also that's where I might have my first pig army.
Really? So recently your army interest has gone.
Faction ADHD has hit peak at the moment. I'm loving Gravediggers, but we're going to get to some other bits later. But the fact that the pigs are going to be 3D printable, and I know two people that are going to be getting all the pigs all the time at our local area. But I'm interested. I won't get a full army to start with, but I love painting pigs. Maximus was one of my favourite models back in the day. Being able to use sort of darker browns and trying to get the fur in it, the sort of tufts and things on the tusks. I can't wait to paint some pigs. It'll be very slow. It might just be a sort of 30-point list, just sort of an intro. But yeah, excited for it.
Yeah, I think there's a big, for me at least, a big attraction is that you don't have any magnetized bits, right? So you can get a list, paint it, store it in a box, and then that box completely holds it. You haven't got extras around. You get like four war pigs or war boars. They are complete models. They're not magnetized, and you can't no extra bits. And like you say, you could just get like a list or two, right? Just play around with them. I know, Sherwin, Rid in the chat, which has posted 3 pig emojis. He's very excited. Damien, new Farah is cool. I mean, Helga, the meat fresher, Maximus, all good bacon. Amen to that. Super cool army. I think they will probably be popular when they come back out. I think they're not sort of comical. They've got that perfect blend of they are a bit goofy, but they're also serious enough that they still blend in.
I think also what people that haven't played against pigs might not realise is actually they're not that bad. So I think sometimes pigs will always seem a bit of a joke, as in rules wise. But actually, with Rid and Sherwin locally, we were taught that pigs can still be a problem. I can't wait.
Pigs cause me headaches. Like Helga's the feet where everything's slammed all the time. That is serious stuff. Carve the feet and everything explodes.
Yeah. I think this will be. I think for locally, I think Rid said this might be his 5th pig army.
The man loves bacon.
Man loves bacon. Yeah, I can't wait.
And then that showed the sort of command starter with the solo, the unit, the brigands, and then a new heavy war beast who is called. Oh, the name isn't on the screen. Lizette, I think, was her name.
Again, loving the rag over the snout and the eyes. I think they said Russ did that paint job quite quickly, but I think it was great.
I think there's a guy called Charles Foster, which it says on the screen anyway. But yeah, it looks very good. It looks very good and well done. So Crucible Guard, they're sort of Dark Operations, as far as I understand. They've just been shown those dominated Reavers from the Sea Raiders. That is
Yeah.
the last release for Dark Operations now. So I think
Yeah.
Crucible Guard are going through the same process now. They
Yeah.
are being available by STLs, or I believe you can just buy the models as well.
Yeah. So they're going to be saying, I think they're going to be saying direct and through SLs. For me, Crucible Guard were, well, of course, they were released in Mark III. I played against them a fair bit in Mark III with my Trolls and with my Grimkin. I love the green that the studio scheme paints them in. And I think Rid's going to be jumping on those as well. They are really fun to play against. There's a lot of continuous effects, and obviously they spoke about that later in the keynote. They are a more ranged heavy faction typically, and I think it's going to be great to sort of get more people in, but also having a tank that's 3D printable and a big colossal that's 3D printable I think is brilliant, because then people can come in and support the game, but actually get a really good looking army done for a decent price, and if anyone's sort of returning, obviously they can pick them up really well.
Yeah, so they spoke about that their warcasters, I believe it was their leaders, that have a rule that if you're in a certain range, that your continuous effects don't expire and do double damage.
Yeah.
So that's going to be super thematic, super cool. And then they spoke about they have a new character unit coming, which will get different bonuses to their attack depending on what continuous effects that the model is suffering. And then obviously there's the new Gorman with a bazooka.
We'll get to Gorman because I am excited for that. Have you shown the photo yet? Is the photo
No,
on
I'm
the screen?
scrolling through now. So there's the quality of life update comment, which we've gone through. The Triumvirate, which is the new character unit. And then there is the Command Starter, which is typical. Which they said that the gun on the Warjack can shoot something and explode it like a...
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That would be a worry for me if they then didn't talk about things later when we talk about channel update and stuff like that. Because I thought when I first read that, I thought, oh god, no, it's going to be like when I don't know if you remember back in Mark 2/3 when pigs had the, can't remember, was it the something pig that was going to fire toxic gas, and it meant that I'd never be able to put a gargantuan on a table because it would always fail. I was like,
oh, yeah, it
no.
would cause the frenzy test.
Yeah. Minus a million and just
Yeah, nice. So the command start has the Ascendant Mentalist, the character unit, the new Jack caster, and I think maybe a foul. It looks like a foul experiment, but it looks like maybe a character foul experiment.
Yeah.
Very cool. I played against Crucible Guard for the first time this week against Leo, and it was a super fun game. Rid said he'll probably go for about 200 points of pigs, just 200 points. Printed Cephalics are 1 unit off max FA and 210 points. Rid probably got more models than all of us combined. Absolute machine. Rid said in their control area with the continuous effects, they don't expire and double damage. And now we are on the Gorman photo. Gorman de Wolf, the revolutionary agent.
So if he plays for Gravediggers, I'm getting him. If he doesn't play for Gravediggers, I'm getting him. He is amazing.
Super cool model.
Oh, he's so good. And then when Matt said, by the way, that bazooka fires different shots.
Yeah, man. It looks like he's firing some sort of like big alchemical shot. He looks amazing. He looks very, very good. And then they come to the Steamroller 2026 update. I don't believe they gave too much away around what's actually changing.
3 things are going, 3 things are new, 3 missions are new, going. See you later, payload. No, they didn't say that, but let's hopefully on January the 20 something, I can't remember what they said. I'll be posting a meme of payload in the grave and me there beside it doing that. Stuff. Hate that scenario, but it'll be good. I can't wait. But there's lots more things that we're going to get to in relation to sort of updates and steamrollers and casual play as well.
I love that. There's 8 people in the chat. I'd love to hear everyone. What are the 3 scenarios that you would like to go? If you could pick any 3, what would you like to go? That's really interesting. So we have 3 new ones in January to play around with, and then maybe how you score them and what's worth what changes. We don't know that yet, but exciting nonetheless. And it's good also we got confirmed that it's going to be the same day as the January update.
Yeah, and I think that was a really clever call from Steve Forge to actually say, by the way, we know that you're going to be excited on January the 1st, but actually, I think it's January the 21st, I think, if I remember rightly.
21st, yeah.
21st, you're getting both your update and your Steamroller. So I don't know what day of the week the 21st is, Aaron, but I am keen to either get on here, do a live, like, right, we're going to go through it right there and then. And also, if it's a weekend, we need to try and organise an event, get a steamroller going that day. Boom.
It's Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday, right? So do we just try and book out the whole of the bunker, or do we speak to some people and try and get another venue?
Yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something on that day.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I think it's just gonna be giga exciting, right? So you got all the Warcaster changes. Suddenly, you haven't got a rack. You got the changes to Matt and Rap we'll come to, but there's gonna be other changes. There's gonna be the steamroller. Like me and you are gonna be like kids on candy on that day.
Yeah, and then also cannot wait.
To the point that I have spare holiday. I'm tempted to book it off just so I can read all of it in one day.
I've got a feeling that I can't get away with booking holiday during term time, but no, I can't. There's no way I'll be able to get. There's no way I'll be able to put a sickie.
Well, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So then the next slide says January 2026 updates. We'll elaborate on this because there's nothing on the actual photo. So Damien says it might be payload going, but they also talked about lethality and state of the game. We're going to go on to that now. Richard, payload, the one where the random objective type goes and 2 fronts. So he wants 2 fronts. Best laid plans and payload. I can get behind that. Rid says you should call in dead on that day. Sorry, guys. You know, in the office, where Michael comes back into the office and Ryan, you're meant to be dead, Ryan. Oh god, I love that.
It's that, or I'll be like Creed in the office where where the work bus turns up and he's like, it's like this. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm playing a bit of hooky today. Oh god.
Oh god, Creed is the best. What about Halloween? And they're like, oh, it's Halloween today. Oh,
that's convenient.
Creed is a goat. Robbie, unless the update gets lost in a shipping container. Oh, he's throwing back to when the navigators got lost at sea.
Yeah.
You couldn't write it.
I mean, we'll please God, update on the 21st. Don't somehow delay a document coming up online. It's going to be.
I mean, I think it's a good shout for them because typically on the 1st of January they get like 0001 AM on January. Where the fuck is the update?
Yeah. Update or we riot. Yeah.
So good call, but like you say, if you give people a date. It really hopefully comes on the 21st.
Yeah, the day Steamforge HQ goes down and they're like, I can't upload a file.
So I think there was 2 overarching changes that they spoke about in the update. I think Matt led first of all, and he looked I actually say he looked very anxious and nervous before he made the announcement, and there was a big relief after. I think he got quite a good reception.
Just side note, it's also very slender, Matt Hart.
Extremely thin.
Yeah.
God damn it, Matt. Where's it all gone?
But we I think you could tell there was that sort of that nervousness, and then because watching it obviously afterwards, and then the cheer of being like, yes, spell racks are dead, was And I think for all the reasons he gave, and I think he even made a comment saying, "Oh, I thought I'd have to sell it to you." It's like, no. We get it. Most of us have been thinking these things for a long time as well. And then I think what really sort of hit home was later in the morning when I watched it yesterday. Steve, our newest player, even put, "Thanks SFG for getting rid of the spell rack, because as a new player, it's something else I don't have to think about."
Yeah, for sure. So with this update, I would say there is a decent counter argument from some people that are saying that what the spell rack did allow is one list to cover quite a lot of matchups, which, in some people's eyes is a bad thing and some people's eyes is a good thing. But what they do also say is that by removing the spell rack, so for example, you remove your anti-gun line and your anti-armor and your anti-infantry spell from the rack. They get given to casters, and now you can't cover everything. Does that sort of bring back a situation where you go, here's my two lists, here's your two lists. Well, this one covers shooting, this one covers armor. If you drop your gunline list and I drop my armor list, you sort of got this rock paper scissors environment because you haven't got that flexibility from the rack. I think it's actually not a bad discussion point around the rack, and it may be a potential benefit for the rack. But what's your take on that?
I don't agree with that at all. I think that the game needs. I think all games and all factions and all armies and all decks, if you're playing a card game, need to have matchups that are harder, and something you shouldn't be able to cover all your bases with a list or with a rack. There should be something where actually you can come up against something and go, okay, my list just on paper isn't going to automatically win. I've got to play this better. I've got to use my skill and abilities to do it, and dice have got to come into it as well. I think the idea that spell racks meant that you could then survive into a gun line or whatever, well, actually either you take the risk of you know, I've done it at events and you've done it as well, where we've had to choose two lists. We've not had 3 or 4 lists. Actually, there's sometimes we go, right, I've got to hope I just don't see Brine Bloods. That was me at the Welsh. I had to hope I didn't see Brine Bloods. I didn't. But if I took Moraine, I was thinking, right, I can see if I face Brine Bloods, I'm feeling good. But if I see Shadowflame Shard, I've not got as good a matchup. And I see that being the same with sort of getting rid of spell racks. Actually, it's important that people don't have the same sort of list for everything. But also, the important part is casters are getting individual spell racks or individual spell lists. Means that there's so much depth for design, and also some casters you might just pick because they've got telekinesis or because they've got, I don't know, battle lust or whatever it might be. And I think that's really important as well, because otherwise it gets boring. We don't want another year of Horosk just dominating everything that Orgoth do, or you know, other casters. I can't think of others where it's just like, right, everyone's taking that because they can all bring in Carnage as an example, in which case it can solve everything. No, it's boring.
Fair. But I suppose I'm just playing different advocate because good discussion.
Yeah,
I actually sort of have your stance, but you know, just for the back and forth.
Yeah, I think so.
So what you know, some people might prefer is that the game they're playing is on more even ground always, right? And so the rack always allows the matchup to be fairly even because the rack allows me to tech for the matchup rather than, oh, you picked the wrong list. So or you couldn't cover this matchup in your 2 lists and you can't cover it, so you start the game disadvantaged. What the rack allows you to, that avoids that situation.
Yeah, it avoids a place where player skill and player positioning and everything come into place. What I think those people are arguing is that they want their handicap back. They want their training wheels on to win in a competitive sense. I don't think they're thinking of it of how it could impact the game sort of wider.
No, I think what they're saying is they would rather play someone that has the tools to beat them and beat them over skill, not because they didn't bring the right list and didn't have the tools.
I think, in which case, what if we go to that? Why is not just bring one list then? If one list and you just have all the casters, I think people need to sort of. I think that's someone with a more competitive mindset than a less competitive mindset. But also a competitive mindset that's pretty fixed. And actually, I can imagine, and I'm not going to make friends here, I can imagine a lot of mid-table players will be saying that. I can imagine a lot of players that want to be good. You know, I think, you know, people that want to, you know, go and compete at the winning Iron Gauntlets will say that. But actually, that doesn't mean it doesn't make you a better player. Yeah,
okay, that's fair. Damien said, I heard about that going back to rock, paper, scissors, But again, I think that Steamforged Game have considered that and are going to make things less lethal so there's more strategy. Yep.
Yeah.
And Rid said, much prefer specialized casters. Look how much Horus is taken compared to the rest of them. And he's going to want the flexibility for the no trade-off. Yeah. So I suppose my sort of point of view is I quite like going back to spells locked to warcasters. I think currently the case with the rack is that you sort of have, you know, 5 casters. They've all got the same opportunity cost of the rack, so you tend to just find the caster with the best feat and the best abilities, and then throw the best spells on top of that caster because they've all got
Yeah.
the same opportunity cost of the spells. And what this does allow going back to caster spells and casters, it's a lever to pull for casters now, right? So say Horus doesn't get Windstorm, Carnage, Silence, Death, or Inviolable Resolve. Okay, he's got the best kit by far, but he doesn't have the best spells. So that's another lever to pull in terms of balance. It makes a warcaster feel a bit more unique. You know, if you get this really cool spell on a caster that you can't just rack, okay, that gives a bit more identity to the caster. I think the rock paper scissors comments are valid. I sort of just have the optimism slash faith that Steamforce games are able to mitigate that somewhat. There probably is going to be an element of, you know, if you've got 2 lists, you can't cover everything. But I've got the faith that Steamforce games can manage it in a way that it's not too bad. I'm excited for the going back to no spell rack, and I think you are too.
Yeah, and I think also I'd get the rock paper scissors if it wasn't 2 lists, but also outside of War Machine, I don't know any war game where you are bringing 2 lists to events. Typically, all other game systems, you're writing 1 list to deal with the whole of your meta, the scenarios, the tournament you're going to. So actually, having 2 lists stops the rock paper scissors completely. You've got your options and you can tech for different things. So I generally don't think it's as valid. And I think it's people, like I say, that are trying to be more competitive than they necessarily need to be, when actually there's still so many tools available.
Well, I think they're saying in Guys of Rock Paper Scissors, the reason it does introduce rock paper scissors is you can't rack the spell against the sort of tech you need, right? So for example, let's go for like Brian Blood. I know them, or I know them well. Rough Seas is like your anti-gunline spell, right? Fury Strength is your +2 damage spell. Petition extends your threat. Black Spot drops defense, whatever. So I think what people were saying is if I can't rack Rough Seas, and say I decide, okay, I'm not going to bring an anti-gunline list. I can't cover everything, right? I've got a list for mass infantry, and I bring a list for armor, and I can't fit in a list that covers gunlines. So I play someone, and they've got a gunline list. They drop it, and I lose because I couldn't handle that tech. That's what they're saying is rock paper scissors, as opposed to, well, I've got this rack, and I can rack Rough Seas.
But how is that any different to faction identities? Shouldn't deal with everything. I think the homogenization of any sort of faction in any game systems leads to the game's death. So I think I think if people, and also I know we joked about it right at the start. I think some people could do with a bit of page 5 mentality when it comes to that sort of argument, particularly when you think of like, okay, so what you're saying is for those people that believe in this way. I don't get to have Rough Seas, which is a fantastic anti-gunline spell. Okay, but flip it on the other side, you don't have that spell that just says to your opponent, if they brought a gunline, get fucked. That's what it's doing. So it's not, I think it's, we're not going to sort of hold all the fun, but you've got to make decisions. And again, I think I don't know. Tell me, is there any other game system which is bringing which can bring 2 completely different lists to a competitive miniatures game event?
Read in the comment section says Song of Fire does. I don't know Song of Fire.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Song of Fire, is the only other that I played at.
Okay. I think we've gone around the topic. There's like 13 people watching us. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'd love to hear your thoughts on spell rack. Love it, hate it. Yeah. I've found that people's opinion is Marmite. They either want it to stay or they're really happy it's gone.
I don't know anybody that in real life that will stop playing the game because spell racks have gone.
So I don't think anyone will stop playing because like, oh, day one spell gone, I'm not going to play anymore. If it does lead to an extreme rock paper scissors meta, maybe it becomes less enjoyable. But I do think that it would just be the case that in 4 months' time, it's like this is how you play the game now, and it's the norm, and people just carry on playing.
It wasn't part of the game when it was at its most successful in Mark II. It's only been a Mark IV sort of thing that's been brought in, and I think that if I'm honest, a lot of people that play in real life in person with their friends, I don't think it's going to make them enjoy the game less.
No, I agree. I agree. Totally agree. Damien says, I have faith in Steam Force Games on this. The best player in the world works there. They aren't going to break competitive play. They love competitive play. Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think what a fantastic thing for the game that Jamie Perkins, the lead developer, just went and won WTC. Who else can say that their developers are at the peak of competitive play? Loxham was in Team 3. They went 3-2 in an incredibly competitive environment. The people that make this game love playing it and love playing competitively. So I think we're in good hands. So that's just the spell rag.
And then are we getting on to lethality?
Yeah, you crack on, yeah.
Yeah, so we've spoken about it many times on the podcast and on the show that the game is too lethal at the moment. If you're talking about rock, paper, scissors, let's talk about snowball effect, where if you alpha and make that first punch, your opponent's not coming back. That can be a far more negative play experience that will affect new players, experienced players. You can have a real bad feeling where you get to the end of second turn, you think the game's not over, but it pretty much is because I've lost too much and I've walked up and I thought, it could survive. They've got to roll sort of pretty well, but actually they've just disappeared in the face of just had one big hammer swing or whatever. So I think that lethality going down is really important. I think that defense in particular needs to matter. I've made the joke of high defense means nothing in this economy because of things like Carnage, and I think it also improves game design, the fact that they have more options for things like, okay, if you have grievous wounds, it actually counts because if you can't heal, if something is beaten up, that's going to make a difference. Is it going to be, if you've got repair, actually that's going to be important because some things aren't just going to automatically get killed, and everything else. So I can't wait for the lethality to go down. I think that games very rarely go to turn 7. And while we don't need them to go to turn 7, I think if you're talking about sort of the rock, paper, scissors sort of effect and also getting new players in, we want people to be playing with their toys for longer. We want them to be enjoying the game for longer and it to be back and forth, not just I've alphaed you, good luck, you're now left with your caster, you're going to try and go for an assassination, which is going to not work because I've killed so much of your stuff. Good game. I think that's it's going to be brilliant for getting players in, keeping players, and also meaning list diversity comes back because I think there's been a shift. I think we spoke about sort of that mounting those medium-based multi-wounded infantry models because high defense, low armor just dies. And if you get your battle group into another faction's battle group, typically your battle group, if you go in and get in there first, you're going to probably kill what you go in for. So I think it's going to be good overall. What do you think, Aaron?
Yeah, no, I think we're both along the same lines. I think it'll be nice if current environment in the game is that you're either out of threat or you're in threat, and your thing in threat you accept is going to be removed. I think the numbers that we see these days are pretty extreme. Just playing games this week, got to sort of mat 13. People have got to defense 19, like power 23. Like the numbers these days are pretty extreme. And I think it's all a bit overtuned for the amount of boxes things have, right? A 30 box heavy is normally killed in like I've got 2 or 3 Fury spare on my Primeval when it kills it, right? So typically 2 Fury spare. So I think, I think that will hopefully help the game get a bit more messy, have a bit more of like a game where you're brawling in the middle, not that, okay, I've stayed out of your threat, I've engaged you and lifted what you've engaged. Okay, I come back and engage you and lift off what I engage. Hope there's a bit more of I engage you and do half of your boxes, and there's a bit more of a messy game state.
I want crippled systems to count and mean something.
Yeah.
parts for
I
the battle make it more interesting.
I think one thing has been apparent to me, when Primeval gets the free corpses to get Grievous wounds, and I thought, oh, that's fantastic, right? Like that's going to really matter. It's not mattered yet because I just kill everything. So Grievous wounds didn't matter, right? Unless you're a multi-wound tough model, so you can't tough. It's really useful then, but I kill you in one swing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe the game being a bit more messy. Maybe accepting that you don't hit every roll that you roll all your hit rolls. You don't sort of assume that you're going to hit all of them. I think currently, if you miss a hit roll, you're like, oh, well, that's so lame, right? Because everything's so high mat that it feels bad. But if you start like missing half your attacks and hitting half your attacks, it becomes the norm. So I'm really excited for the lethality update. I think in unison with a steamroller update, in unison with the spell rack, in unison with all of the changes at the same time. I think it will be a really, really exciting time. Grid said, with decreased lethality, the 76 boxes on the Gargast be like happy face. Yes, very true. Be tough to shift that big boy. Already hard to shift, but
you never know. His armor might go down, or boxes might be reduced. You never know because
and I do have faith in what Steamforge Games are doing, and their thought process behind it. I'll be honest, I don't have complete faith in their playtesters. So the logic behind the idea might be good, and they might have to slightly iterate after their first playtest. But I think where we end up will probably be good.
Yeah, and also there's it's always difficult when as outsiders, whether is it PP that's still sort of doing a lot of the stuff, is it SFG? So we'll see.
Yeah, so that was like probably the meat, the bulk of the announcement. Really interesting. But there was then some more. So there was this really amazing video of super heavies for 4 factions.
I mean, if we go to a dragon that's pouring out fire and flames, which looks superb, which OSL is going to object slicing is going to fantastic. Behemoth's back, baby, and he's sped up because he's now in a wheelchair. He's got his tracks. I know some people don't like it. I really like it. Deathjack looks even more scary and intimidating than ever. And then there's some Signar person that's floating that's lame because he's Signar and he's just going to have some. The rules sound amazing, but that's not my.
This is really cool to see. I think Deathjack. I mean, of course, I think iconic. I actually on the other side of the camp that I think Behemoth looks pretty lame.
That's fair.
I don't like the tracks, but I'm sure someone will be clever enough to give him some legs.
That's fine. You called me racist earlier. I'm calling you ableist now, so it's fine.
Amen. Fuck him. And then I think Thunderhead looks really cool, and I think actually the one that I like the most is the new one actually.
Same. That fire just
and these rules come out, and it can trample over any size base and leave things on fire.
Something like that.
Incredibly cool.
Yeah.
Damien says, "Where's my avatar of Menoth?" Well.
Whoa.
And Damien, he likes Behemoth, so 2v1. Yeah. Rid, do you like Behemoth? Rid, looking forward to fielding Flappy in a week or so. I am not looking forward to fielding Flappy. The guy looks terrifying. But I think really cool, throwback to those Mark II, character jacks, and seeing them come back in 80mm. The thing I like about 80mm is like a lovely centerpiece if you don't want a colossal.
Yeah, definitely.
So they were really, really cool. We're just showing some of the photos of them. Yeah, I think Aziok, let me say that name right. Azdarak. I'm just going to call him Flappy. Flappy looks really cool. And then there's the roadmap. So we've got Old Umbre Gorgia coming in December, the core book. and Deathjack, and then we got the Sea Raider coming in Jan, and then the Kithguard are coming Feb to May. That's going to
Yeah,
be
so
all of the Kithguard.
at this stage of the video, I was thinking, right, Kithguard, okay, that's looking good. That's gonna be my next year. You know, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Great.
Yeah. Robbie says Avatar Menoth is still practicing swinging his new sword. He's got to get a bigger sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tiny ass sword. And then Damien, that Orgoth dragon is going to be nasty. It certainly will be. And then also in Feb you get Behemoth, and March you get the new Thunderhead. Then there was a bit more. We got on the Hills of Kithguard, Dusk, Thane of Nero. And
Can we just talk about undead elves on bats, please? Because I was going to go in for Kithguard. Kithguard were going to be my second proper faction. They got delayed. I thought I'll buy a couple of bits of Gravediggers just to set me on my path for the moment. And then I was thinking Kithguard still going for it next year. And then undead elves on bats arrived. I'm going to paint those so dark, so horror-esque. I cannot wait for them. They're going to be amazing. But also we got some rules for the last hunt demonstrated.
Great product placement.
But yeah, exactly that. The last hunt for their first factions, their first models in the faction for is it Thane of Nero? Is that right?
Thane of Nero, yeah.
Yeah. And also we got an updated logo, a faction symbol last night on an update, which is also Chef's Kiss. But yeah, so undead elves on bats are going to be my thing next year.
They're back, baby. Rid likes Behemoth as well. What is going on, guys?
You are so ableist.
So outnumbered. So yeah, these look really cool. They are like some crazy ass, and they look really big, the bats, because the scale next to the guy standing in front of the bats, he looks huge.
I mean, they're all gargantuans.
80mm cavalry.
Yeah.
But these are really cool.
It's just a bat version that's going to do some sonic waves, like I can't remember the name of the Pokemon, but yeah.
Zubat.
Yeah, that's it. You got
it. Damien said, but the new starter has Thane of Nero Nis elves, but they're not dead at all. True?
1 second.
Nis aren't dead.
No, they're not dead, but they're dead inside because they've lost all their friends.
They're dead inside because they've got nobodies. And then we thought it was over, but it wasn't yet. So the last slide to come.
It wasn't Zoo, but
it wasn't Zoo. There's a digital roadmap that shows the Infernals and Crucible Guard release and Dark Ops and Thornfall. Menoth, guys. I don't know what to say. Menoth, baby.
Someone posted the Harbinger of Menoth photo of the old sculpt. Love that sculpt. And someone just literally put on the Facebook, just reprint this. Just do that again.
Yeah, I mean, incredible sculpt.
I can imagine that with Rush Charles's touch on a 80 or Gargantuan base. Yeah. It's
colossal Harbinger.
Yeah, with a 50-inch command zone, because
it affects every table in the row that you're playing.
Yeah. When you're at a team event, your feet is on every table. Yeah. Menoth. Yeah.
Crazy. I didn't know if they would do them or not, because they did Kador and Signar and Crix, and I thought, okay, they've done the Mark II stuff. Are they only going to produce new content now?
I'll be honest with you, I didn't expect them to do Menoth. I didn't think that. I mean, I'm loving it, but I thought that there'd be some reasons where they'd go, you know what, some holy zealots might not be as in keeping at the moment with everything that's happened in the world. Maybe we won't touch this, but they have, and they're going back, and the Mennonites are going to be there. They're nuts. I hope they've got the rack still with people like on the crucifixes that explode. I hope they're going to have the Avatar of Menoth's going to come back with actually a better sword, like you said earlier, not just some small like finger to poke people at. And I hope they have lots of books still.
I mean, chat has gone wild. People are very happy that men are coming back.
Yeah.
Damien is stoked. Robbie is super super happy. Yeah, I actually agree with you. Me and Robbie, I think last week we were saying about men off, and I was like, look, like like they're very religious, fanatic group. I'm not sure, the world's very PC right now. Do they do it?
Part of me wonders whether Trench Crusades come out and they've gone, hold
Yeah.
my beer, boys. We're coming. Like, yeah, I'm excited.
Rid said he hopes they're a bit more rough and ready than the last sort of like White Knight dudes. Maybe they've seen some shit now. Infernals came back. Fucking
Yeah,
Orgoth turned up. Maybe they're a bit
yeah,
more gritty.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Or yeah, yeah. It's
So,
gonna be.
but I think it's amazing. I think these will sell like hotcakes.
I think anyone that I think you now, if you played Mark II, you've definitely got a Mark IV faction that you can play. I think I
Right.
don't like. I think we spoke before about how you played Circle and actually Old Umbre ticked a lot of that box. You played Retribution, you just got Dusk. You've got Scorn, you got Olgoth. But yeah, I think yeah, it's going to be, and also the fact that the faction like the Mark III factions getting available for 3D printing is huge as well, and I can see the game. I hope the game is going to explode in 2026. We're going to do obviously a lot to try and promote it locally as well. But I think Mennonites coming back is a good thing.
Crazy. Crazy
Yeah,
good. Next year looks just incredible, right? There's
yeah,
so many events in the UK. York Weekender sounds really incredible. They're sort of stancing it as a very casual weekend. So there's gonna be
nice,
like Who's the Boss, Spell Draft, a
nice.
big casual gaming pit. It's very much
Is there
not.
is it going to be 24-hour gaming? So someone could stay up all night and just play loads of games and like.
Fingers crossed. But their stance is like this is for people who want to play the game, but not necessarily to compete. Right? You can just go there and play the game. You don't have to worry about going to tournaments.
You know what? And I think that's something that we loved. SteamCon, SmogCon, whichever one
SmogCon
it
was the
was.
original.
SmogCon. And I think having sort of those scrambles where it's like, oh, we've just got 8 people. Yeah, we're just gonna have a quick little three round thing. Oh, look, here's the who's the boss. Here's some hardcore. Here's all different types of events. I liked the gargantuan wrestling match, like boxing ring thing that some people have made as well. I think having an event that's more casual, sort of a big weekend event that's more casual, is also great in the calendar. And I think I'm excited to look into everything. I still need to confirm dates and check things. I won't be able to do all the events next year, but yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Damien says, "Do I have the slides?" Unfortunately, not Damien. I'm just going through photos in the UK Discord. But Damien is very excited about Menoff, which is understandable. Yeah, so I think an incredible keynote. Really, really fantastic. I think it's really nice that they touched on the merch, the organised play kit, and the press gang, because obviously they did that in Adepticon last year.
I think it's really sensible to start with that and be like, look, this is what we said last year. This is what we've done up to and where we've got updates from it, and here's then the new cool stuff. And I loved just the last slide just being that Menoff logo.
So cool. So
Yeah,
cool. Damien said he actually run one of those mini events at SmogCon. So we may have interacted with Damien in our lives, which is
yeah.
really, really cool. SmogCon is some of our favourite memories of War Machine, I think.
I really hope that they do that Steamforge Gaze does a SteamCon, which is like SmogCon, and I know they're trying to do obviously lock and load Europe, but yeah, just trying to get. And also they've just had lock and load in America. Yeah, I'm excited for a weekend gaming, playing War Machine.
Yeah, so coming up in the UK, we've got the Manchester GT. Then there's going to be like a London GT. There's going to be Welsh Masters. There's going to be War Manchester, York Weekender. So there's going to be plenty to do. The WTC is in October. Obviously, that's only for a small group of people. And the thing I liked about the York Weekender, he said, like, look, this may compete with a big event, but that ultimately there's only so much room in the calendar, and if
Yeah,
I'm providing a very casual gaming space, competing with a big event make sense, right? We're not competing, but
Yeah,
then be at the same time.
yeah. What dates are for the York weekend?
That's
Don't mind
still
me
to be
asking.
confirmed
That's okay.
because the
Um,
calendar is pretty chock a block. So
I like the fact they're also pitching it for something slightly different and going, actually, we're going to have it as more sort of casual, not as hyper competitive, sort of Welsh mark. Not that it was hyper competitive, but actually promoting it for people just to come play and enjoy War Machine. I think it's
yeah,
really important for the game.
get some narrative tables going like they've had in Lock and Load.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Again, getting friends together and be like, right, we've got to defeat this giant, I don't know, crocodile, whatever it might be.
yeah, I think that's really important for the game. Not every, I think ultimately the way the game plays is naturally competitive, but you can play a very clean game in a very relaxed way and still have a lot of fun with
Yeah,
it. Damien says we have met. Oh, Damien, that's fantastic. Apologies, when I was at SmogCon, I was a lot younger, had a better memory, but I'm sure it was lovely to meet you, and hopefully we'll meet again. He's going to try and come to War Manchester and Welsh if possible. So
nice.
I think we're both going to target probably Welsh at least.
Yeah, Welsh is great, and also that Premier is so dirt cheap, it makes it really, really, really worthwhile.
Absolutely. Damien says we need new players and we need to get the game popular again. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. We I think War Machine has always been very good at keeping players that like War Machine because it's quite a niche game. Getting new players has always been a battle. So the amen to that. We need to keep new players coming in.
definitely.
Um, fantastic. So that's pretty much Keynote wrapped up. Uh, how are you finding your Gravediggers, Dan?
Loving them. I'm 6, 7 games in, and yeah, no, it's going really well. I lost my first. I think it was my first game was against you,
Yes.
and that was a case of just going right. I think I'm safe from some old Umbre shenanigans, and I wasn't. And then you repoed backwards and told me I couldn't move or attack with some bits. I was like, "Yep, not getting in." And then no, since then it's been good. I've loved them. I think they are overtuned. They definitely need to be toned down a bit. I've only got sort of a bare minimum sort of couple of boxes, but even I'm like, why is Plug got stealth? That's just stupid. And some other bits as well where you go, I think this needs a bit of a tone down. I don't see what the downside of fuel cache is or any of the airdrops. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in January. So until then, I'm gonna play them and get the most out of them. I'm loving my Vargas and Jake's pairing at the Steamroller we had that you hosted. Managed to get a cheeky Jake's assassination game 1, game 2. Attempted 2 assassinations on some stupid blind water gators that managed to survive it. And yeah, that was and just took all my time because it was game. I think that was game 3 or 4. With Grave Diggers, and I'd ate into my clock. I did a 40-minute turn 2 that failed an assassination run, and then game 3 played against Ridge with Jake, and just scenarioed it out on 2 fronts. Just scored double on one side, scored another, scored the middle, and there's nothing else you could really do. Since then, played 2 games into Cricks, and one game, the first game in particular. We'll see what happens because Rhythm of War with Vargas having Valiance that run up and then also move 3 inches extra means you're just threatening the world. So I'm really enjoying them. I've got another Valiant on the way. I've got another unit of range of gun mages because I've only got 1 unit at the moment, so I was having to borrow another to sort of give out focus. And I've got another unit of rangers because then that means it puts me to 3 units of rangers. I don't think I need a 4th. And then so I've got those. I need to start painting them. They're primed. They're based sort of built to everything. But I'm going for a desert theme is the thought process for that. So a lot much lighter tones than my dusk. And yeah, looking forward to actually starting painting, but I've yet to put proper paint on them just yet. How are you finding Old Umbre generally?
Nice. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Old Umbre. I don't know how many games I'm in. Maybe 15-ish, a bit less, but I think 15 maybe. Yeah, really, really enjoying them. I've tried all of the Warlocks at least once now, so
Yeah.
really enjoying that. There's not really a Warlock I don't enjoy. I think they're all incredibly competitive. I think they probably, along with Gravediggers, need a few things looked at in January. They'll probably get some love in terms of some overtuned things. But I'm really enjoying them. Very different to Brian Bloods. They're like
Yeah,
a. I think the way I sort of phrase it is that Brian Blood feels like you're always like the defender in the game, and you're
yeah,
slow, and your opponent sort of threatens you, and you try and manage it. Where Old Umbre
yeah,
are the aggressors, and
yeah,
well, I've got a 15-inch threat or a 16-inch threat, and your opponent's sort of managing you. Um,
yeah.
Nice to have an army that always
You are,
Pathfinder.
yeah, you're the alpha in Old Umbre, aren't you?
I don't think I've ever been called an alpha, but yes, in Old Umbre, I suppose I am. So really enjoying it. Very different, and I think very very different in the sense that in Brian Bloods I had a lot of expendable bodies, and in Old Umbre everything's a lot more precious. So losing things hurts a lot more, but that is the trade-off for having incredibly long threat ranges that hit incredibly hard. So really enjoying them. So I'm going to apply for Team England next year, so that's quite
No.
exciting. So I think my sort of plan is just play Old Umbre till January, take a look at what everything pans out in January, and then it might be Brian Bloods or it might be Old Umbre.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think go for WTC. Just go for it.
I think there would have to be some drastic changes for Brian Blood to come out stronger than Old Umbre in January, but we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Scenario packet might favour Brian's or
Yeah.
whatever. But no, I'm really enjoying it. It's been a really nice lease of life. I played quite a lot leading up to the Welsh, and you play you play your two lists quite a lot.
Yeah.
So then to go jump on do something different after that was really exciting. I think you've sort of had the same feeling about your Dust going into Gravediggers.
Yeah, just being able to play. Obviously, you've played a lot of Dusk, and then being able to go, I'm trying something new and learn, and like my brain getting to the end of the game and having that sort of slight headache where I've just had to think more has been great. But what I'm also doing at the moment is, like I said, I think I'm playing 6, 7 games. Still playing just Jakes and Vargas, sort of alternating between the two. I'm gonna probably stick to them until January update, and then try other bits. I've not ordered Boom Boom yet and things like that. But I've basically got my lists are pretty much identical. They were identical at your Steamroller, just with a change of caster, just to get used to sort of the mechanics and things. I think there's nothing sort of wrong with that. Can't wait to get them painted. I'm actually inspired. I might do some painting this evening. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got the paint.
Yeah,
Got the last hunt.
I actually think that the final hunt box, the final hunt, that's the NIS side, right? I think actually all of it is really good for Dusk.
It's amazing.
Um,
Yeah. If they had been Welsh, it might have meant that any Dusk player could have gone better than 3-3.
yeah, I think probably a skill issue. Check. I think I played against Dan Jones he had Tyrus double cats, of course, my favourite list to play against. But he had the mini Lesser with her two cats as well, and those two cats are really really solid. Really, they were really great for their points. And throwing her spell Heart of Ice, so he had one unit cat with IR, and then one unit cat with Heart of Ice, so they both had armor. And the character unit I thought was really good in there.
The character makes Slayers sad at the moment because they're just so expensive. But we'll see. You never know what an update might happen in January. But yeah, they're great faction.
Yeah, I really like the Dust side of that box. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And actually, aesthetically as well, I think they're pretty incredible. I really like the models.
Yeah. Same.
Right, I think we'll probably wrap it up there. Thanks for everyone who joined us today. We had at the peak of 14 people. It's really lovely.
Whoa.
We're really grateful for you to join us. We just take it as a time for me and Dan to catch up, and anyone that joins is really lovely. We'll probably be back next weekend. As it gets to Christmas, we probably won't do every Sunday. It'll be when we can. But in the new year, I imagine once we get January update and we get Steamroller, there'll be a billion things for us to talk about. So certainly in January we'll be back.
And I'm sure you'll. I mean, I don't know about you, Aaron, but we're both going to the event on the 14th of December. Our little 8-man steamroller. So there'll be some. I'm sure there'll be some shorts and things from there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll do some videos of how we're doing it. Absolutely. So thank you everyone for joining us. Goodbye for now, and we'll